this lecture, we will discuss how our habits can predict our outcomes. In psychology, a habit is any regularly repeated behavior that requires little or no thought and is learned rather than innate. A habit which can be part of any activity, ranging from eating, sleeping to thinking and reacting. Reinforcement encourages the repetition of a behavior or response each time the stimulus that provoked the behavior reoccurs. The behavior becomes more automatic with each repetition. Some habits, however, may form on the basis of a single experience, particularly when emotions are invoked. Habits, as discussed by William James in his Principles of Psychology, are useful as the means for conserving higher mental processes for more demanding tasks, but they promote behavioral inflexibility. Our brain is a complex organism that is made up of billions of neurons that help connect and send messages to the other parts of our brain. Many things contribute to the formation of habits. Our mind reacts to certain stimuli, conscious or not, that causes us to exhibit behaviors that may or may not be typical of our personalities. This also occurs with habits. Our brains are primed to react to different things that in turn shape our daily behaviors. Our goal is to eliminate negative words that lead to negative automatic habits that hinders our success. We then must activate and use positive words that lead to positive automatic habits that will promote our success and fulfill our life's purpose. So, how long does it take to develop a new habit? Often we hear that it takes 21 days to form a habit. But Dr. Maxwell Maltz, however, suggests that this may be a myth. Extensive research was actually done on this subject matter, and the researchers analyzed the data to determine how long it took each person to go from starting a new behavior to automatically doing it. On average, it takes more than 2 months before a new behavior becomes automatic. That is 66 days to be exact. And how long does it take a new habit to form can widely depend on the behavior, the person, and the circumstances. So, how are habits formed? Habits are formed because when a person repeats an action or behavior numerous times, the repeated action becomes stapled in their unconscious. As stated, there are 2 categories for habits: positive, which are wanted, and negative, which are unwanted. A negative habit is a behavior that is repeated mechanically and automatically. It drains or disperses our energy. Habits are automatic behaviors that can be formed unintentionally. Habits are acquired behavior patterns that are consistently followed until the entire process becomes involuntary. Habit formation starts with a habit loop, which is a 3-step process of a psychological pattern. The steps involved in habit forming are triggers. This prompts your brain to go on autopilot and allow the behavior to occur naturally. Routine, the behavior itself, and reward, something that your brain likes that will demand it to continue doing that particular habit. When in the process of undertaking a new habit formation, it is imperative to practice the actual activity itself every day. It will increase your brain's chance of unconsciously remembering this learned activity. Always remember that your brain needs triggers, rewards, and routine every day when attempting to create new positive habits. Positive habits are easier to accomplish and adopt rather than breaking bad or destructive habits. Positive habits are habits that are beneficial to one's physical or mental health. Some examples of these positive habits include exercise, a balanced diet, or a new hobby. Negative habits are behaviors repeated that have harmful circumstances on mental and or physical health. Unfortunately, that also means that any traumatic experience that you may have had may stick around with you for the rest of your life. When serious or overwhelming trauma happens in early childhood, if severe enough, childhood trauma may lead to negative thoughts that may lead to negative habits and behaviors that may ultimately lead to negative outcomes. It is very important that you conduct all the necessary framework to understand, heal, and evolve, which may be aided by the assistance of a clinical therapist. It is important to know that both positive and negative habits have an effect on our lives, and that it is easier to learn a new habit than it is to break an old negative one. In an upcoming lecture, we will take a look at how to eliminate negative habits and adapt new positive habits that will enhance your chances for success.